Hello everyone, welcome to Fun to Learn. This is Aditya from Fun Academy, and today we will be continuing our wonderful journey through the human circulatory system. So without wasting any further time, let's begin with today's video. So the learning objectives of today's video are to have an overlook of the various fluids of our body, that is lymph, blood and tissue fluid, to have a look at the lymphatic system, to understand the components of blood and lymph, to understand the function of lymph, and to learn about blood groups and blood donation. So the first topic that we have is the fluids of our body. So there are three types of fluids, that are tissue fluid, blood and lymph. So let's have a deep look at each and every one of them. So first we have is the tissue fluid. As the blood flows in the capillaries of the tissues, the plasma and the leukocytes leak out through their walls and bathe the cells. This fluid is then called the tissue fluid or intercellular or extracellular fluid. It is from this fluid the nearby cells absorb oxygen and other required nutrients and give away their waste products. So we'll have a look at the diagram. So this is the tissue fluid which is located between the cells or between the tissues. These are the cells between which the tissue fluid is located. This is the lymphatic capillary. The next we have is the blood. So whenever we get hurt, blood comes out of our body. We all know that blood is the red colored liquid present in our body. So the components of blood. So components of blood are broadly classified as the first type as corpuscles or the cellular components. So the cellular components consist of the red blood cells, also known as RBCs, which contain hemoglobin and are responsible for transportation of oxygen throughout the body. Then we have WBCs of white blood cells, which have a defensive purpose, and the blood platelets, which help in blood clotting. And the second broad classification is the liquid components, which we have is plasma, which is a straw-colored liquid in which the corpuscles are suspended. Now let's have a look at the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system consists of the thymus and the spleen, which are the lymphatic organs, and lymph with the lymphatic capillaries. So some of the tissue fluid may be reabsorbed into the blood vessels, but most of it goes through the lymphatic system when it enters into minute channels named lymph vessels. The lymph flows in these vessels due to the contraction of the nearby muscles, and then it drains into the lymph nodes where fresh lymph channels arise. These channels ultimately pour the lymph back into the major anterior veins close to their entry into the right auricle, where it is purified again and is circulated in the body again. So now let's have a look at the composition of lymph. So lymph also consists of two parts, that is the cellular part and the non-cellular part. The cellular part includes leukocytes, which is mostly lymphocytes and WBCs, whereas the non-cellular part includes 94% of water and rest 6% consists of blood plasma, fats, carbohydrates, proteins, enzymes, antibodies, etc. So this is the diagram, and so we can see that lymph is mostly composed of the non-cellular part. Yes, so next we have is the function of lymph. So the lymph supplies nitrogen and oxygen to our body parts where the blood vessels are unable to reach. It drains away tissue fluids and metabolic wastes, and also takes back the proteins to the blood from the tissue spaces. It absorbs fats in the intestines. Only the lymphocytes and the monocytes present in the lymph do this function. Then the function is it defends from various other diseases, as it also contains antibodies. So lymph is a part of the circulatory system and the immune system as well. And then yes. So now let's have a look at the difference between blood and lymph. So lymph is the part of the open circulatory system, while blood is the part of the closed circulatory system. Lymph is pale yellow due to the absence of hemoglobin and red blood cells, and blood is red due to its presence. In lymph, WBC and blood plasma are present, whereas in blood, WBC, RBC, blood plasma and platelets all are present. Lymph, being a part of the circulatory system, is also a part of the immune system. Blood is only the part of the circulatory system. Now let's have a look at blood groups. Each one of you must be knowing your blood groups, right? So have you ever wondered how do we decide one's blood group? Now we will understand that. So scientists named Carl Landsteiner in 1900 identified different types of blood groups according to the antigens present on the RBCs of one person's blood. So how was it identified? Let's have a look. So a person having the antigen A present has the blood group A. A person having antigen B has the blood group B. A person having both the antigens has blood group AB, and the person having none of the antigens is said to be having blood group O. Now let's see the compatibility of blood donation. So only certain types of people with certain types of blood group can donate to a certain type of person. So let's see what is the compatibility. So a person with the blood of A group can be given to a person with A and AB group. The blood of B group can be given to a person with B and AB group. The blood of AB group can only be given to a person with AB blood group. But a person with AB type of blood can receive blood from all other types. So hence a person with AB blood group is known as the universal recipient. The blood of O group can be given to all the groups. Hence, a person with O blood group is called the universal donor. Yes, blood donation is extremely important as it saves lives. It is a voluntary procedure where blood is drawn from a healthy person called a donor so that it can be given to a needy person who is in absolute requirement of blood. It is done at a blood bank where blood is collected and stored and is given to the recipient when he or she requires it. If any time in your life you get a chance to donate your blood, please do it, as again I repeat, it saves lives. Yes, we have completed today's session. I hope you understand the topic and found it interesting. Please stay tuned for the further sessions. Thank you.